We're coming to you today from Melbourne, Australia, and we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we are recording, the Wurundjeri and Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples listening to the recording today.
Before we get into today's show, a quick word about the Olfactive Melbourne Perfumery.
Brands featured on this show are available as a 4ml sample in our experience pack. Pick 3 fragrances and we'll send them to you with a QR code that links straight back to here.
So you can sniff along with the episode. It's the first interactive perfume podcast experience.
And the best way to discover Australian fragrance from anywhere in Australia. Fall in love with something? Your pack includes an exclusive discount on the full bottle.
Visit olfactiveperfumery.com and build your pack today.
Now, let's get into it.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Olfactive Melbourne. I'm your host, Trent Stokes.
And I'm Robin Stokes. This afternoon in the studio, we're so excited to have back with us Rhiannon Mapstone, who is the founder and perfumer at Cosmic Witch Society. Welcome back to the podcast, Rhi.
Hello.
Awesome to have you back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Well, I know you've been very busy since we last saw you, and we have an episode, I think it was episode 11, where we
Yes.
spoke to you last, which was about a year ago.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to hear what you've been up to since then.
Oh gosh, I've been up to so much. Where do I start? I've been busy making lots of little limited edition perfumes, which we're going to talk about today, I think.
Absolutely.
I've released a tea collaboration with a beautiful artist from Sydney. Her name's Kirby Lawler. She does really beautiful witchy vintage art, and so we brought her beautiful art onto the box, and then my skill of making teas from a past life. And what else have we been doing? We've launched lip glazes and other cosmetics and incense and candles, and we've been very busy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. We've got a lot to unpack during the show.
Yeah, we do. So if someone is new and hasn't listened to an episode or come across your brand before, just at a really high level, tell us, how would you describe Cosmic Witch Society?
Okay, so Cosmic Witch Society is an artisan perfumery primarily and apothecary. So we are we specialize in making artisan perfumes, which means that it's all made in house. So that's what makes it really beautiful and unique. So I formulate everything, and I also design everything as well. Yeah.
Beautiful. So we've obviously got the word witch inside of
Mhm.
the Cosmic Witch Society. So
Yeah.
obviously that witch or Wicca philosophy is also blended into your brand.
Yes, definitely witch, not Wicca, but definitely witch. Yeah.
Witch.
Witch and occultism and mythology and folklore are things that I'm definitely inspired by. So I've got perfumes that are inspired by beautiful goddesses or the archetype of the witch, which we talked about
Yep.
last time with Midnight Grove, or it could be somebody from history that I think is just super inspiring. That kind of has that same kind of ethos and philosophy of mysticism and the occult. Yeah.
Hmm.
So for someone who might be not all that educated
Yeah.
on the ways of the witch, what is the difference between being a witch and Wicca?
Oh my God, that's a really big question.
Just to open the show up.
How long you got? Look, okay, so not all witches are Wiccan. That's kind of answers that in short. So, Wicca is a religion, and I'm not religious, so I'm not a Wiccan. And the Wiccan traditions are many, and they pluck practices from many different traditions. So it's kind of it's probably a bit too eclectic for me,
Yep.
and yeah, there's a lot more to it than that, but I
Mm.
kind of won't dive into it because it's
Mm.
a very big topic and conversation.
Mm.
But yeah, so I'm more interested in traditional witchcraft or folk witchcraft, and different forms of occultism. Yeah.
Good for a bit of explanation because these two terms often do get rolled into each other.
Totally, they
And
do.
if you're not educated on it, you might do exactly what I did, which is sort of roll them both into the same thing.
Yes.
So thank you for clarifying. Now, as I said, with all of these type of topics, we could deep dive into anything and spend many, many hours sort of unpacking it all. But we're here to experience some fragrances today because that is the point of the show. So you're well versed in this, Rhiannon. So you've been on the show before. You know that we take a fragrance and we do a full masterclass on it. So we go from the opening notes through to the heart and down to the base, and we actually let the fragrance dry down in real time. And then we fill the space in between with plenty of questions for you. And we've got loads of them for you today. But before we start asking you those questions, which fragrance have you selected to be the subject of the masterclass today?
I have selected our newest edition called Viriditas Magica. And it's a really beautiful green woody floral with a lot of musk.
Fantastic. I can't wait to get stuck into it. In fact, Robin, if you would like to spray it out for us, that would be great. So just for those people who may be tuning into the show for the very first time, when we spray out a fragrance, we will always put it onto both blotters, which are these white things that Robin's grabbing at the moment, just cardboard. We'll spray it out onto that, but also onto our skin. And the reason why we like to do both is on our blotters, the three of us are all going to get a very similar experience because there is no sort of variety here. It's the same material. But when we put it onto our skin, we might see a little bit of variation in the scent. And there's a few reasons for that. And again, we could spend an entire episode talking about why fragrances change on your skin. But the temperature of my skin right now might be a little bit different to Rhiannon's. It might be a bit different to Robin's. And so I might progress through this fragrance a little bit quicker. There's also the pH of my skin. There's also the microbiome in the skin. There's lots of different factors that can mean that it presents a little bit differently. So we'll always present both so that we've got a bit of a comparison point. All right, so before we get stuck into smelling, what I'd love to know is with Viriditas Magica, what does that actually mean?
It's the magic of green.
The magic of green.
Yes. And it's inspired by a medieval cosmic baddie called Hildegard von Bingen. And she was, I have a really funny story about her. So, but fast track, who she was a mystic, a philosopher. She was a composer, a poet and artist. And most importantly, she was also a healer. So she worked with herbs and healing herbs, and she wrote books about these. And there was so many things this woman did, and she was just so inspiring. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk about her a little bit more as the episode unfolds.
Sure.
I love the name because, you know, we're the Cosmic Witch Society. We're talking about witchcraft, and the name literally sounds like you're casting a spell. It's got that
That's very true.
Viriditas Magica sort of. I love that about it.
Yeah.
All right, so now just before we lean on you to go through the opening notes here, we'll take a moment just to explain what opening notes are. So for those people who might be a little bit new to experiencing perfumery in this way, on your screen right now you have what is called the perfume pyramid. Up the very top of the pyramid, you'll note opening notes or top notes. Those two terms are fairly interchangeable. Our opening notes are made up of the lightest and the most volatile of the olfactive notes or molecules. And all that really means is that those notes will surface in the fragrance first, hence why they're our opening notes. We'll smell them first, but they'll also dissipate the fastest, which means that they effectively take a little bit of a back seat as the heart notes then start to appear. That's the basic structure of a perfume. Now, it's not quite as linear as that, as we'll learn as we start smelling our fragrances, but just as by way of explanation of how that works, just to explain what opening notes are. This episode of Olfactive Melbourne is proudly brought to you by T&T Group. For Australian fragrance founders, the standard 10,000 piece packaging minimum has long been a wall between the design you envisioned and the design you could actually launch with. T&T Group designs and manufactures luxury packaging for the world's leading fragrance houses. And until the end of season 2, Olfactive Melbourne listeners can access T&T directly, with the 10,000 piece minimum waived and 10% off unit pricing. Premium packaging at the scale Australian indie brands actually launch at. Visit tnt-group.com and mention Olfactive Melbourne when you reach out. So, with that rather rough explanation, let's have a little bit of a smell, and then you can talk us through what we're actually smelling in our opening.
Okay, cool.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
Green indeed.
Yes.
All right. So what are we actually smelling when we're smelling that beautiful green opening?
The magic of green. Okay, so you can smell tuberose. Tuberose is a green floral. That's also in the heart note as well. You can smell hints of oak wood and oak leaf, which was really important for me to put in there because it's the tree of wisdom. And I love oaks. I always walk through the avenue of oaks where we live, and it's just lovely. And you can get orange blossom notes as well, but they're very, very light. So I'm working with all new materials in this perfume. So things I hadn't really, well, besides tuberose, things I hadn't really worked with a lot before previously. So I really wanted the orange blossom note in there because it reminds me of bees. And I have a what is it? It's a bitter orange tree. So what we get neroli and petitgrain from, and orange blossoms. So well, neroli blossoms. And so I really wanted to have that note in there because the bees love it. And bees are little spirit messengers. And they also spread wisdom and they help all of the trees pollinate and grow. And without them, we wouldn't have all the beautiful green. So I really needed that to be present. Yeah, not intensely so, but just enough in that
just
top note.
a bit of a hint
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, it is. It's like it's very green kind of orange blossom. So yeah.
I love that. I mean, bees are so important,
Yes.
aren't they? I don't think we would really exist without bees, would we? Because
We
they
would
pretty
not.
much pollinate everything. So
They do.
I don't think they've found a robot,
No,
alternative for bees at the
Yeah.
moment. So
no, I learnt about so I have a magnolia tree in my backyard. And I love magnolia, but they didn't need bees. They were self-pollinators. So they're an ancient tree. So there's
Oh.
things around before the bees helped to pollinate
isn't
and
that
grow
interesting?
things. Yeah, just thought I'd throw that in
Very
there.
interesting. And also another new fact for me.
Absolutely. So one of the notes here that is absolutely new for me is oak leaf. So
Oak
oak
leaf.
wood,
Mhm.
absolutely. I have smelt this note before.
Yeah.
Oak leaf. I wasn't even aware that was a note
Yeah.
that you would have in perfumery. What am I smelling on my skin that helps me differentiate those two notes?
So I don't know if you can really differentiate them actually. Like I feel like the wood and the leaf kind of smell very similar.
Yeah.
So you can smell the oak wood, I believe,
Yeah.
like definitely. So if you've smelt like the best way to tell viewers about what this smells like, if you've smelt the Jo Malone perfume that has oak wood in it, a lot of people will know that particular perfume. It smells very similar to that. Yeah, but the leaf I don't think is as distinguishable, but I just kind of wanted it to be in there. It was more about the essence of that as
Okay.
well. Yeah, sometimes for me, I think because I am quite a spiritual person and I like to have the essence or the energy of that plant in there. So sometimes it may not be as prevalent as scent, but energetically it's there.
Isn't that interesting? So it wasn't necessarily about bringing something quite different to the smell. It was more about making the fragrance a little bit more whole.
Yeah.
Because we use oak leaf in witchcraft for various things, and I actually have a bunch of them before or when they fall. I let them go nice and crunchy, and then I burn them like incense, and they smell really beautiful. So I was like, I'm gonna figure out a way to put that in there, even if you can't really smell it as much. But yeah,
I love the idea of it's the energy that it brings
Yeah.
to the fragrance.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Lovely.
I think this is probably, while we're still early in the interview here, I think it's actually a really important point that we need to call out here is that while this is a perfume and these are fragrances, you actually refer to your perfumes and your fragrances as potions
I do.
because they are little potions, aren't they?
Yes, I'm a little witch, so yeah.
Absolutely. In
Yeah.
fact, even the bottles themselves, like in little potion
They are.
potion bottles.
Yeah.
You can probably see that on your screen at the moment. If not, we'll superimpose it. But the way you approach perfumery is through that lens of making a potion
Mhm.
and connecting it to witchcraft and to that tradition, effectively.
Definitely, it's always there, ever present in my mind when I'm making something.
Mm.
Yeah, usually I'll be inspired by. Oh, for a good example is like the Bridget perfume I have called Hearth Song. That's completely all natural perfume, and it has, I think, 7 botanicals aligning or associated with Bridget. So I will sometimes try to use those things in the scent. But for me, making the Viriditas Magica, I felt like oak definitely needed to be there because it is the tree of wisdom, and it's so luscious and green and so strong, and it was just the thing that came into my mind when I was making it. Yeah.
So we're getting a little bit more than just a smell from
Yeah.
your perfume.
Mhm.
We're actually getting an energy
Yeah.
from the perfume itself.
Yes.
So it's a green type energy, but I guess what are you wanting the wearer? I was going to say the smeller, but the wearer to be feeling as they're experiencing this fragrance. So we know what they're smelling. We've just described the smell. What do you want them to actually feel?
It's meant to feel harmonious and grounding and centering for sure. And I think that I've had it out for a couple of months now, and that's how people feel. Like they love it. And I wanted to create a perfume that people could wear every day because I think some of my things are a little unique, and people are like, oh, I'm going to wear that out on this and that, or I'm going to wear this for when I go to my coven group, and or yeah. So, but for this, I felt like I wanted something that felt very beautiful and also grounding and encapsulates what I believe is the magic of all living things and green. Yeah, but the Viriditas Magica is inspired by um, something that Hildegard von Bingen actually wrote, poetry and music. So she was very inspired by nature, and most of her life's work is wrapped around her love of nature. So that's kind of how that ties in as well. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about Hildegard while we're
Yeah.
here. So,
May as well, right?
so was Hildegard a witch?
Do you know what? I think she was, but she wouldn't have called herself that. But I think maybe she was 500 years too early for all of the awful things that happened to women when it came to the burnings and things and the trials. But she was a nun. So she was as a woman of God, but I also think these really incredible cosmic baddies that were so smart, they they seeked refuge in safe places, and maybe she had too much stuff to do. She didn't want to get married, you know. She wanted to go and hang out with the girls and get all witchy. And yeah, she wanted to compose music and paint and philosophize and daydream instead of being a wife or a mother or any of those things. She looked after the world and people around her in a different way, you know. So I don't know. I just was so inspired by her deeply. Yeah. And I'm not a religious person, so I don't ever really talk about her religious side of things, but I see her whole body of work and I'm like, that's a pretty amazing person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Something to Google
Mhm.
when we have a spare moment, I
Yeah,
think.
to deep dive into her. But
Yes.
I guess so. She obviously existed in a time before the label of witch was associated with, I guess, all sorts of negative connotations, like liaising with the devil and all of that sort of stuff that was that happened during the, I guess,
Hmm. It was leading up to it, but yeah, she didn't get to the thick of it. So yeah.
Yeah, so she got to sort of express her full self, not realizing that she was a witch, but
Yeah.
yeah, she was, I guess, encompassed
Yeah.
everything about
Yeah.
witchcraft.
Well, I learned something about her. So she was one of or if the first sound healer. So she used to believe that certain notes and different drone notes would help create certain feelings. And so yeah, she used to write music and compose music um for people to help them feel calm and centered or yeah. So there's like a sound healing aspect to her some of her craft as well, which I thought was very cool. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's such an underrated thing,
Yeah.
sound healing,
Yeah.
in my
It's amazing
limited
when you go to good
experience.
classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can certainly see why you would resonate with Hildegard, and certainly if people would like to know a little bit more about your background and how you got into perfumery and what your sort of health background is, they could probably go to episode 11 of season 1 because we sort of deep dived into that.
Yes, we did.
And I'll probably provide you with a little bit more context as to the direction in which you've taken, Cosmic Witch Society and how you actually compose your fragrances in the first place. And we highly recommend that episode. But since you were last on the show, which was, as Robin mentioned, a little over a year ago, which doesn't feel that long, certainly not from our perspective, feels like only yesterday you were here.
Yeah.
You have been ridiculously busy. I don't know how you've got
Yes.
how you've got it all done.
Yeah,
But
neither do I.
there's a lot, right? There's a lot. So we've talked about, we mentioned it briefly in the opening. We've got teas, we've got candles, we've got lip balms. I mean,
Incense.
incense. You must be working 24/7. So
Yes.
a lot.
Yep.
So take us through, sort of, I guess, where you got sort of kicked off from the last time you were on the show. What did you sort of focus on first, and why?
Okay. Well, I wanted to expand the perfume range, so I sat at the perfume organ a lot and also did a lot of research and just trying to figure out what our customers might really value and also what I might enjoy making for them. So I made perfumes like Ignis Solace, which was made for the Year of the Fire Horse, which we're currently in.
Yep.
Aureus, which is a beautiful perfume that encapsulates the feeling or the alchemy of the sun and the moon, light and dark notes coming together. What else did I do? I tweaked a lot of different perfumes too, because that's something as an artisan perfumer, I always feel like the craft is always evolving and there's new things coming in, and I'm like, oh, what's that? And I could definitely add that to make it better. So, always trying to aim for better experiences for our customers. Um, and like you said, I've done the teas, which has been amazing. I felt like candles needed to happen because we're witches, so witches love candles. And so I did the Poison Garden candle range. I think I was kind of already semi doing that when I was here last year, though, because I had been in Ireland earlier that year, and I went to a castle, Blarney Castle, and well, most castles in the UK or Scotland and Ireland, the old enough ones, have poison gardens attached to them. And so I was like, I love that. And I do really love poison herbs. So I love reading about them and learning about them. So I wanted to kind of create a really fun range that had some of my favorite poison herbs in them and flowers. And yeah, and then I thought, well, I'm building a brand here, so I wanted to add in things like the lipstick and cosmetics and things that I knew that I loved and I felt like our customers would really dig, and they do. So we do a lot of fun events that kind of are very witchy or fantasy themed too, and we love doing them. And our customers are amazing, and so um, helped create some duochrome eyeshadows, which have little wand applicators and they're full of sparkles. And people love them and coming and trying them on and picking out their favorite colors. And juicy lip glazes because everyone needs juicy lips. And yeah. incense.
That's very
Wow.
cool.
There
Yeah.
is just so much to unpack there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just step back because something just grabbed me, which is so you went to Ireland, you went to this Blarney castle, and they had a deliberately grown poison garden. Is that right?
Well, yes, a lot of castles did, yeah.
Mm,
So depending on how old
interesting.
they were, but Blarney does. And
So
yeah,
why do they have
because they
poison?
used to have resident witches or resident
Okay.
healers or poisoners.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean all throughout
Ah,
Europe they
Mhm.
have them grown. They make them a bit of a feature now. And it's like here's the poison herbs,
Mhm.
don't touch, and they put them behind cages.
Okay.
Yeah.
that makes sense, of
Mm,
course,
mm,
because yep, you've got healers that are working in
Mm.
the castle. Some of those poisonous herbs would have ways in which you could heal each
Yeah.
other, but of course, it's the art of war, isn't it? So
It
the
is.
local king will want to take out somebody and not
Mhm.
necessarily have to sacrifice hundreds or thousands of his army's
Yes.
lives, and
mm,
so we'll send an assassin with a little bit of poison,
mm,
and
Yeah.
off we
mm.
go.
Yeah. Have you seen that show about Catherine de Medici? Um, when she became the Queen of France.
Mm,
And
that's-
so she basically had a mystic or a witch that was working with her, and they also believed she was as well. And so one of her things was using poison. But a lot of women used to use poisons
Yeah.
to get what they wanted or to
Mhm.
maneuver people. Aqua
Yeah.
de Fana.
Of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
of course. All right, this
Yep.
now is all making
Fascinating.
sense.
Mm,
Fantastic.
mm.
Yep.
All right, so now obviously,
And
yeah,
just
yeah,
while we're on
please.
while we're on the topic of the poison
Mhm.
herbs and the candles,
You want some?
I
I'll hook you up.
I'm in
could come
trouble.
handy.
You never know. Kidding.
I was just thinking when you said it, I was like, obviously, touching them is bad.
Some of them,
Some of
yes,
them,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to
But you
get
can
your nose in there and smell
yeah,
them.
no.
Yeah.
But obviously, in the scent of the candles, it's
Oh, yeah,
it's
they're
perfectly
Yeah, I
okay.
always tell people that they're perfectly safe. There is not a single drop or the energy of the plant is in there at all because you just can't. And some of those things don't even grow here. So, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's an accord that you've made to smell.
Yes.
Yeah.
To emulate the energy of the plant or what it looks like. So, the belladonna one smells like dark berries and green. And yeah, it's quite tart as well. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm.
Beautiful. And so, how many candles do we have in the range?
I think there's 6 actually. Yeah. I just
Mm.
added another couple. What is it? The devil's apple and angel's tears. So angel's trumpet tree that you see them.
Yes.
Yeah. We used to have so many of them here in Victoria, and we still kind of do, but they're very beautiful, vintage looking plant. A lot of people, I think some kids in the 80s ingested them here in
Oh.
the Dandenongs, and everyone started ripping them
Mm.
out.
Oh wow.
Do
Okay.
you guys remember that?
I do.
I
I
wouldn't have
recall.
been
Yeah, you
around
went
then.
around in
No,
Yeah.
in
Australia
Australia
at
at that
yeah.
time.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember my nana pulling hers out and yeah, getting rid of it. But then the devil's apple is actually a plant from my childhood. So I grew up mostly in up in North Queensland. And so this particular plant used to grow on our property. So I grew up on a cattle property. I'm a country girl. And yeah, so they were kind of bright yellow little apple tomato looking berries. They're about yay big. And it's a very, very spiny plant. So lots and lots of thorns, and they look menacing. You don't want to fall in one off a horse.
Oh.
It's not good. You definitely don't want to step in one either. But
Mm.
we used to get they're poisonous, and I believe that they actually they also grow in South America as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I haven't seen them anywhere else except for that part of Queensland.
Mm.
And yeah, they are poisonous, but we used to have scientists come out to the property when I was younger, and they used to run all sorts of tests on them.
Mm.
Yeah, for cancer research too, I believe. Back
Wow.
then. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Well, we certainly have a reputation here in Australia that everything's poisonous and everything's trying to kill you. So,
It really is.
yeah, right down to the plants.
Well aware.
Uh,
Yeah, and that was one of them. But yeah, I was inspired by that because I was like, a lot of the poison herbs are things that we know that come from like European folk magic, and
Yeah.
I wanted to put something that I felt was part of my path as well. So Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
And
very
you've
cool.
brought the lip balms as well. So how many lip
Mm.
balms do we have in the range?
Okay, so there is 6 of them, and they're all named after different altar items or things you might find on a witch's altar. Just really gorgeous kind of juicy winter autumn colours that are very easy to wear. They're layered with like beautiful shea butter, mango seed butter, avocado oil, a bit of argan, and they're just really lovely and easy to wear. I don't have it on today though, unfortunately, because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of talking and I would just keep licking my lips. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm going
Yeah.
to say is like the names of absolutely everything across everything that you sell is amazing. I
Yeah.
love the visual that you get every time you mention a name. So give us a couple of examples of some of the names that you've got of your lip balms.
Okay. So, one of them is the besom, which you would find near the altar, or it could be near the front door. It all depends what kind of witch you are. The red thread, there's the stang. What else have I named them?
Can I just ask, the
Oh.
besom, is that like a broom?
Yes, it is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Mine
'Cause-
hangs above my front door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you use it to sweep away negative energy, or you can use it after spell work, or just to clear spaces.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's the South African Afrikaans word for broom.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is. Okay.
besom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
cool.
Oh, there you go. I didn't
Yeah.
know that either.
Mm.
Yeah.
So much symbolism in absolutely everything that you do, which makes sense
Yeah.
for your brand. So yeah, always good for
Yeah.
us to know a little bit more about the names. Also, you got the teas. Now we're quite lucky you brought some of
I
those
did.
teas in today. So we might actually grab some of this out. Might just lean forward here for a. Oh, you're going to grab them, Rob?
Sure.
Yeah, fantastic. There is no small amount of effort that gets put into the design of your packaging, Rhiannon. I've got to say. I mean,
Thanks.
we'll take some photos and superimpose them because I don't think I can do any justice by sort of holding them up here. But we've got 3 here. So we've got the Oracle, we've got Heart's Alchemy, and we've got the Witch's Garden.
Witch's
Yeah.
garden. Yeah.
Fantastic. So tell us a little bit about the teas as well.
Okay, so this is a brand new collaboration project. It's our first ever collaboration with a gorgeous artist friend of mine. Her name is Kirby Lawler, and Kirby is an incredibly talented artist. So she does a lot of beautiful drawings and watercolors, and she's been doing this for a long time. She has a wonderful fan base in Sydney, and she's also learning to be a tattoo artist now too. So using her beautiful art and design, and
Yeah.
when I was thinking about what I wanted to launch next, I was like, I really do want to bring teas back because I originally started off in small business making teas. But I've told you all that before, how they probably didn't taste as good. Well, these ones do, thankfully. So my main aim was to make, ritual teas and witchy teas that not only are for the specific things, but also just smell and taste really beautiful. So they're very fruity and floral. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
We can't
Look-
wait to try them.
Looking forward to
So
that.
Kirby did
Yeah.
all the artwork. So you can see all the
Yeah.
floral work, the
Mm.
embossing on the front, and
Mm.
also she drew like the little icons for each one. So we've got the gorgeous palm hand for the oracle, and then the heart and the rose for Heart's Alchemy, and Witch's Garden has a little witch's cottage with a cute little cat and a chimney, and the hawthorn tree out the front because there's hawthorn in the witch's garden. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're stunning. What a lovely gift as well.
Yeah,
They're
these are
such nice
beautiful.
gifts. So
Mm.
they also have, when you flip them over, it has the little ritual on the back and it tells you how to make it and what they're for. And yeah.
Mm.
Fantastic. There's just so much effort that gets put into the packaging. We loved and we explored it a bit last time you were on the show. Is that each one of your fragrances also has a sigil
Yes.
that's attached to them. So, do you have sigils attached to your teas or just to your fragrances?
No, just
Yeah.
the fragrances. And also, not all fragrances have them.
Oh.
So some of them may just be more about the story that I love and wanting to tell that story through scent. But yeah, not all of them, have sigils. The core range does have sigils though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic.
And some of them I may work a little bit of magic with, but they don't necessarily need to have the sigil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously the connection for us is fairly obvious in terms of, the teas, the candles, the lip balms. All of these things are all, I guess, not potions, but they are things that are all sort of blended together and infused with intent and energy, and they've got some sort of
Yeah.
connection to the, I guess the, what am I trying to
daily
say?
rituals?
Not just the ritual, but what the actual ingredient itself is designed to do. So to
Yeah.
provide some
Oh,
sort of
yes.
healing or energy or something. So that to me, the connection is there. But I suppose for people who are listening, what's tea got to do with, fragrance? Because we're the Olfactive Melbourne podcast. But I guess all of these are very fragrant as well.
They're so fragrant. So they've got natural flavors in them that smell beautiful. And some of those things actually used in perfumery as well.
Absolutely.
I think Mandy Aftel did a great book on that. She worked with a chef, I think, and they made all these flavor and flavor sprays. But your listeners probably will know about that as well, or they can Google it.
Absolutely. And Mandy is actually a very well-renowned natural perfumer. I think she's based out of the US.
She is, yeah.
And quite a lot of, I guess, the natural perfumers that we've had on the show have seen Mandy as a bit of a mentor and a guide and a teacher.
Absolutely.
As well, so.
She's really nice. I think when I first started out, I was like, I'm just going to write to her. And I did. And she used to write back to me and help me with things. And she was always really lovely.
Yeah, a bit prolific out there in the in the industry. So
yeah, it's hard to know who to reach out to when you first start, I think, because a lot of people, you might get snubbed a lot. But Mandy was actually quite welcoming, which was nice. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, certainly if you're somebody who is sitting at home and thinking about wanting to express your art and your vision through perfumery and you're not sure where to start, listening to, Rhiannon, you could reach out to somebody like, Mandy, or really you could even reach out to Rhiannon. And
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like I've reached that stage where I should be reaching my hand down and helping others. So I'd love to do that. So if you're out there and you got a question, just email me, Rhiannon at cosmicwitchsociety.com.
Fantastic. That's very generous of
thank
you. And
you.
I think that's lovely because our experience has been with dealing with the Australian fragrance industry is that the vast majority of people are happy to share.
Yeah.
They're happy to help.
Yeah.
They know that there's plenty of room in the market for everybody, and because everybody's doing their own thing,
They are.
that we should all be holding each other up and helping each other up
Yes.
when we're competing against large multinationals who have got
Yes.
endless marketing budgets. So
And all the dupe brands.
and all the dupe brands as well, which makes it
absolutely.
even more of a challenging market to sort of deal with. So, and it's certainly been our experience that everybody's been very generous with their knowledge. We wouldn't have a show, honestly, if they weren't. So,
You've probably learnt so much from sitting with everybody.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, an amazing amount. And
Absolutely.
we always talk about how the more you know, the more there is to know as well.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't stop.
Yeah, we feel like
That's
we're
really
just at the
great.
tip of the
Yeah.
tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more for us to sort of dive down into. But it certainly helped us ask better questions, sort of as we go along.
Yeah.
Connect the dots, as you could say. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I guess
Before we do move on,
Oh,
though,
sorry.
I do want to say that thank you for the candle that you sent us around Christmas time. You sent us the is it Utide candle that you made?
Yeah.
And I have to say, like, I'm quite a big fan of candles. Ask Trent. I'm always,
You're a candle
on the
girly.
hunt for
Yep.
the next candle. It just projected so wonderfully.
Oh,
I
nice.
really, because that's obviously, would you buy it again? Only if you could smell it, right?
Yep.
And some of them are a little bit, you can't smell them from other brands that I've tried. And I just found yours to be an amazing projector. So I'm not sure if that's because of the, you're a perfumer as well. So that it makes it easier for you to kind of get that projection to come out of a candle. But I've highly recommended them as a result to friends
Thank you. I
that I
appreciate
know enjoy candles as well.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try and do some Christmas ones again. It just feels right. Christmas candles.
Mm.
I've got to
Thanks
say
for the
this
feedback.
is absolutely high praise from Robin too, because when she says she's into candles, it's like
Oh,
there's a lot.
I can tell. Thank
There's
you.
a lot.
You're a woman of good taste, Robin.
Absolutely, she
Thank you.
absolutely loves candles.
Thank you.
So I guess with the candles, with the tea, with the lip balms.
I like
We're-
those too, actually.
Yeah? I should have brought you some lip balms. Oh my God, you
It's all
look,
right.
yeah, they look great on you. Number one, I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
all
not
that stuff.
we're not limiting CWS to
Mm.
just to fragrances. We're expanding the range into anything that is relevant within that
Yep.
witchcraft space.
Yeah.
So I guess
Thanks.
in the future you're going to be looking to add more things based on what your customers tell you and sort of what you think is relevant.
Absolutely. So I'm thinking I might even expand on the teas, and they fit within certain categories, and just really trying to give our customers what they might like to use for daily rituals or just to weave into their week that makes it feel a little bit more magical.
Mm.
Yeah. So I've got lots of ideas for things. I won't give too much away, but yeah, I'm always making perfumes. That's a given. If there's new ingredients, I'm going to be inspired to play with them and figure out ways to put them into things. But yeah, definitely within the teas, I'm going to add things, I think, and try to create real experiences for people. I've also got some other ideas for how am I going to say this without giving it away? For people diving into an actual experience, and it'll come in a kit form. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think I might know
Watch
what
this
you're alluding
space.
to. But
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
watch this space, and certainly you're on socials.
Yeah.
And you've also got a newsletter.
I do, yes. I've actually just revamped our whole website. I don't know if you remember, but I closed for about a month.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, I'm artisan perfumer. I do everything myself. So I'm also a web developer, apparently.
Wow.
So yeah, I redesigned all of our website, and we also did this really beautiful photo shoot. So our first ever real photo shoot with a model. And a really beautiful photographer. So I spent about 8 months really trying to find the right people to do this with, because I had a real vision of how I wanted it to go, and it just was executed beautifully by these gorgeous women. And all their details are on my socials, be able to find them, all the links there. And yeah, just we went to the Macedon Ranges and took these really beautiful shots, and Alyssa, the model, was just magical. She just really emulated the whole vibe, and she let me dress her in all of my ideas, and she was so patient with me and so lovely. And Erica, the photographer, she really understood my vision, and it was just, it was a really amazing healing experience to kind of go in there. So we went in on Samhain, and our Samhain here. And I did a lot of scouting with Jerry, my husband, beforehand, and we found this beautiful spot where the forest just felt really dense and magical, and there was lots of mushrooms growing everywhere at the time we were there. And I was like, this is it. This is the spot. So we came back and did this beautiful shoot. And so the website has all the beautiful photographs on it now, and it just feels the way I've wanted it to for a long time. So it's all, when you start out, you slowly add and tweak things just to make it feel good. So adding the products, the teas, the perfumes, the new look, and all the things. And yeah, it's been pretty cool.
The images are
Yeah.
gorgeous. You sent us a
Yes,
few
they
for
really
our
are.
website as well,
Oh,
because
yes.
obviously
So
we
good.
stock CWS on the Olfactive Melbourne Perfumery
Yes.
site,
Yeah.
and they are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous
Stunning.
shots. So
Guys.
they've
Yeah.
done an amazing job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very atmospheric.
Yes, that's how I
And
wanted it to
yeah,
feel. Yeah.
yeah, as you say, that's the exact vibe that you can feel it from
Yeah.
the images.
Magical.
Absolutely. So there's a lot happening on your website, a lot happening on your socials. So if people want to keep pace with what you're doing, the best way to do that is to jump onto the socials or
Yep.
jump onto the website, sign up for the newsletter, and just get those updates.
Yes.
Now, I believe you've also been doing your own sort of series of conversations or sort of interviews.
Yes. Oh, with the girls.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I just really wanted to highlight people and champion them too, Like I feel like a lot of brands maybe don't do that, but I wanted to. And so I've started off doing little interviews called Cosmic Conversations. And so I did my first one with Kirby because I want everyone to know how amazing Kirby is. She deserves all the accolades. And yeah, so I kind of did a little interview with her, and it's just on our website there under the blog section. And then we did one with Alyssa. And so just getting people to understand that these are people in our community. So Alyssa is a practicing witch, and she's also a Reiki master and an energy healer, and she does massage, and she's just a really sweet person, and people can go and find her and connect with her as well. So yeah.
Fantastic. So you're on the other side of the interview for a change.
Yeah, it's more than just building a brand. It's about our community. So yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I've got to say, Ree, extremely busy, right? And we've just packed so much into the last year, and I've got to say, we're constantly watching what you're doing because we find you immensely interesting. We love the brand as well. We wouldn't have arranged it in the website if we didn't think that you're amazing, and your fragrances are amazing. But we're going to be absolutely gobsmacked by what we see over the next year, if that's how much momentum you've built already. Not to set the bar too
I'm a
high.
Capricorn. I don't stop. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we know another Capricorn in the room as well.
Oh,
so
really?
yes.
Oh, hey girl.
Hey, girl.
Nice.
Fantastic.
All right.
All right. So we've probably had a bit of time now to let the fragrance dry down a little bit. And we're probably ready to transition to our heart notes.
Yeah.
Shall we get stuck in?
Yes, absolutely. So we will just go back to the perfume pyramid once again. And we're looking at the center of perfume pyramid here, which is the heart notes, the core, the true essence and the personality of the fragrance. So normally when the top notes start to dissipate and fade away, the heart note comes forward, and it forms a smooth transition between those top notes and the deeper, denser base notes. Normally they're things like florals, aromatic herbs and spices, and they tend to really bring out the personality of the fragrance and linger and last on the skin a lot more. This edition of Olfactive Melbourne is proudly sponsored by Silver Australia. Silver Australia design and shape their jewellery in their studio in Melbourne, and they're pleased to offer Olfactive Melbourne customers 20% off when you use the code MASA20. So with that being said, let's have a chat about the heart notes.
Okay.
Let's have a little smell. Yeah, it's evolved.
So you can definitely smell the white musk.
Yeah, 100%.
I was joking with you guys before we started about how I wanted to bring white musk back, and everyone will remember, or mostly everyone will remember, the Body Shop white musk oil, and it was so popular. And I feel like, I mean, a lot of things have had a revival, so why not white musk? Hey?
Yeah, bring it back, guys.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I know it's the magic of green, but also why not a bit of white musk in there too? So you can really smell that. It's quite prevalent in the dry down,
Absolutely.
but it really marries well with the tuberose, which is a green white floral. It also marries really well with a couple of different aroma molecules and natural isolates that I've used that smell like wildflowers or fresh cut wildflowers, or it has a real green flower shop smell,
Yes.
which I love. And it also has almost like a steamy kind of greenhouse smell too, which is kind of nice as well. It's usually there very lightly in the background, but that white musk and that woody white musk is definitely there. So that's the thing that I can often smell hours later. So, which I love. There's a little bit of spice in there too. So it's cardamom, I think you can kind of smell ever so. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the musk is certainly coming out more on my skin.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Rather than projecting off the blotter. For me, it's tuberose dominant on the blotter, but that's I guess to my nose.
I love tuberose.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess with the heat of my skin, I'm getting a bit more of the musk sort of projecting up off the skin. Just have a.
It'll always be the thing that lasts the longest. The
Yeah.
musk.
Absolutely. Then have a smell on yours. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So for me, I got the green early on, and when you said flower shop, cut flowers, stems is what I was thinking, and I can smell the tuberose. I will say, it's not that whoa, oh my gosh, it's tuberose. Like sometimes you can have that.
Yeah.
It's there and it's lovely, but it's not too intense, like headache inducing for some people, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the musk is really lovely too. I struggle with musk sometimes. It's like almost like I can't smell it.
Yeah. Okay.
like some of those musky molecular sort of fragrances. I just can't smell them at all.
Mm.
But I get that sense because I know the white musk that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been able to make a bit more
Were
of
you
a
a fan of
connection.
it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I
everyone
was.
was, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really lovely, this evolving heart.
Mm.
It's really gorgeous.
I wanted
Yeah.
it to be a real femme kind of smell as well. So I
Mm.
always kind of associated that white musk and those florals with that. So yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I think I get it with the tuberose. It can be a fairly overwhelming sort of
Mhm.
note if it's not balanced well. And I actually think the musk is helping to balance out the tuberose.
There's another thing I threw in there. So quite lactone kind of milk notes. And we know that, well, I think some of the best white florals smell quite milky.
Yeah.
And it just balances it out beautifully. And I kind of used some of those things that I'd learnt to kind of balance the tuberose out as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that creaminess.
Mm.
And do you
Yeah.
get it on your skin?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we're saying wild cut flowers, we're talking about white florals as the wild cut flowers?
No, it's a special aroma molecule that's been created. So, what's the name of it? I know I'm going to butcher the name. Let me just have a quick look
No,
for you.
please do. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to unpick this a little bit.
It's my little book of secrets. Oh, wait, there's a blotter. Yeah, because I've not really used it before. And as a natural perfumer, I used to just use a lot of floral absolutes. They were my go-to. Where have I put it? Yes. Yeah, it's isocyclocitral. And a lot of perfumers will know this. So it's been around for a while. But because I was a natural perfumer, I didn't really dive into those things as soon as other people may have. So, yeah, it creates that really beautiful kind of like steamy, fresh cut flower shop smell. You know, when you walk into a florist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that for me, I grew up with an auntie that's a florist, my auntie Lynette, and she used to have different florist shops down on the Otway, between Colac and Lawn and stuff, and Geelong. She used to teach at the Geelong TAFE, I believe. Yeah, and so that's actually a smell from my childhood. I used to go in there sometimes and hang out with her and pretend I knew something about flowers when I knew nothing. But yeah.
It's a pretty distinctive smell though. When you've walked into a florist, like you can walk into any florist and you get that. It's that smell. It's the florist smell.
It is. Yeah, it's
yeah.
beautiful.
Okay, so what did you say that note was called again? I'm
I'm
going to make it.
Isocyclocitral, I think.
Isocyclocitral. Okay, and this is citral. So that's something that a natural perfumer would be probably quite across. They'd be aware of this. It's not like a brand new, just been developed.
No, yeah. So because I was like strictly natural perfume, I didn't really use even any like natural isolates. I didn't really know about it previously. But yeah, if you were somebody who was a perfumer that used a lot of aroma molecules and synthetics or everything across the board, then yeah, you would know about it because
yeah, I
up
get
on
you.
it.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, it's been around for a while.
Yeah. Okay. Not just brand new, developed by.
No, brand new to
Furniture,
me though,
okay.
because and also it really does have that very green floral quality to it that really just felt like it helps wrap the whole scent together. Yeah, in the best way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very fresh.
Yeah, I should have bought the single shot in so I could show you, so you could smell the difference and where it really sits.
All right, we'll have to bring it in next time. Not that we need an excuse to bring you in again, but absolutely. Fantastic. So,
So we should probably ask about the story, right?
Yeah.
Because we know that it's about
Yeah.
Hildegard, is
Yeah.
it? Yeah. So in the heart, what is the wearer to feel in terms of the scent and the story?
Well, definitely. So before I said it's meant to feel like harmonious. It's meant to feel grounding. And you're meant to feel like you're in a verdant garden. Like, definitely. Like, it's you're there amongst it. So everything from the beautiful, tall, wise oak to the gorgeous creamy white florals of the tuberose, but also probably a little bit of jasmine in there too, I think I put in. So I really do love white florals in perfumes. Yeah,
Mm.
big fan. Um, and those things just feel really luscious to me, like things that feel luscious and green because it's, Viriditas Magica, the magic of green, of all living things. And so I had to kind of rein it in because there's so many things that feel inspired, that are just quite beautiful and, all of nature at your fingertips
Yeah,
and scent
absolutely.
palette. So, yeah, I kind of just thought this was, mm, this just felt very indicative of Hildegard because I needed it to, I don't, sometimes I don't exactly know, but I just start making and I go, actually, no, that is the thing that feels like it smells like, or encapsulates the smell of her poetry or her philosophy or her sound. And I tried to imagine her sitting somewhere in an abbey or under a tree or just blissing out. And I felt like this is what that smelled like. And
Yeah.
I hoped that the wearer would also feel that as well.
Beautiful. I have that picture now in my head.
Yeah.
I've got a beautiful image of, as you said, all that. Like, I even see like insects buzzing around it.
Yeah.
The flowers, and
I do
it's a
too when I
beautiful
make
warm
it.
day.
It was the bees were ever present, and on the box that I've just been designing, it actually has like a little a vintage bee art on the back as well, because bees make everything grow and they pollinate everything like we talked about before. So yeah,
I love
Cool.
it.
yeah,
I love it.
part of the
So
evolution of nature.
I guess with the story of Hildegard, we're not, the perfume is not trying to tell a story of her going from A to B. That's not really what it's about. It's
No.
about how did she express herself across every aspect of herself, and that's represented in the garden. So what I'm sort of seeing in my mind,
Well, nature was everything
Nature
to her.
and-
So
yeah.
all of the things that she was and did, all were rooted from nature. Yeah, everything from her philosophies, her healing, her poetry, her books, and her music, I guess. Because I think she also saw God in those things as well, because she was also a very spiritual person. So, yeah.
Everything drawn from nature. So
Yeah.
as we're experiencing the fragrance, because the imagery can be very helpful when you're experiencing a
Yep.
fragrance, as you know. If we would imagine Hildegard wandering through her garden and experiencing those fragrances, that's sort of what we're getting at this point of the fragrance, is that we're encountering the wild cut flowers and we're
Yeah.
encountering the tuberose,
Yeah.
and she's wandering through her garden and gathering those natural.
I'd imagine she would pick them and
Yeah.
put them somewhere in a vase for people to enjoy. She strikes me as a Virgo. If we have any astrology people listening, definitely let me know if you think also. But I think she's a Virgo because she really embodies the healer and the hermit a little bit, and somebody who is of service to others in a really amazing, positive way that's been so long lasting. Her legacy is so long lasting that here I am, just some rando in Melbourne.
Talking about it hundreds of
Talking
years
about-
later.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty amazing legacy.
That's a
Yes,
huge legacy.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, I am intrigued now. I'm going to be
Yeah,
absolutely going
same.
home and Googling her,
Yeah.
and,
I was going to tell you earlier. So the reason I actually know about her at all is when I was about 20, I moved into this share house in Brisbane, and I had this. I was a beautiful old Queenslander, and I moved into this house with a bunch of friends, and this room had like a window seat. And when I got into this room, it was empty except for these two books that were sitting in the window seat. And one of them was on natural magic, and the other one was on Hildegard. And so I was like, oh, what is this? And I sat in the window before all my things arrived and read about her and read about natural magic. And yeah, so it's always kind of stuck with me. And I've learnt more and more about her as the years have gone on. So yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
very interesting story, isn't it?
It
It feels
is.
like it was obviously meant to be.
Yeah.
And
Whoever was in there, I love that they left that behind for me to
Yeah.
find, though.
Yeah.
That's that
Yeah.
is very unique, and you've formulated an
Done
entire
her
fragrance.
proud.
All this
Yes.
time later,
Mhm.
which is beautiful. Now,
Yeah.
we do have some more fragrances that you've brought in today, and we do have a bit of time now as we go from the dry down from the heart through to the base, and we want to give the fragrance a bit of time to develop a little bit more on our skin. So how about we explore a little bit further across the range? So where do you think that we should start here in terms of exploring the broader range?
Well, let's just do the Ignis Solace because, I mean, it's a lot of fun. And I know that
Absolutely.
you really like
I
this one.
really, really do.
Yeah. Even though I'm very sorry, listeners, it's all sold out.
It is, unfortunately,
yeah.
but it is a fragrance that's designed for
Just be
the
careful when you spray that one too, Robin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
absolutely. So
It's really strong. Yeah.
it is
Oh.
strong and it is beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So this particular fragrance is for the year of the fire horse.
It is, yes. So it has really sparky notes in it. That's why I'm saying be careful when you spray it. That's why I had to make it limited edition. It's got crazy ingredients in it. Nothing that's going to hurt you, of course, but it can really.
Yeah, it's like I'm holding it up to my
Could
nose.
be
I
a
really
lot.
don't need
Don't
to.
need to at
I can
all.
hold it
No.
down
Yeah,
here and
yeah.
I can smell it. So when we
Oh,
say
it's fine now.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it projects like
Yep.
a beast.
It does,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is one of the reasons why I like it. I
Yeah.
don't like it just because it projects.
Oh,
lots
you
of
really like
fragrances do.
strong ones, do you?
I do
Yeah.
like strong fragrances. I like subtle ones as well, but
Yep.
I love the fact that this slaps me in the face.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
And,
But-
and especially because it's, you connect very well with
Absolutely. So I was born in the year of the horse.
Oh, were you? Cool.
So this is supposed to be my year.
Has it been a really fast-paced,
It has been
energized
really
year?
hectic. Changed jobs
Yeah,
this
wow.
year.
Yep.
Got headhunted for a new job. So
Amazing.
while also launching a perfumery.
You
And
have. That all looks and sounds so cool.
It's
Yeah.
been a very, very hectic year so far. It feels very fire horsey
Oh, yeah.
so
Totally.
far. But obviously this, this resonates with me quite a lot.
Yep.
The notes in this,
Yeah.
and probably purposefully so. That's why it's the fire horse
Yep.
fragrance. So of course I'm going to gel with
Yep.
it. But that all sounds very mysterious to people who are listening and watching. Talk to us about what the
Yeah.
actual notes are inside of this fragrance.
Okay, so I created this really crazy amber honey maple accord that has really sparky notes in it. It's a little bit incensey as well. And so I really wanted it to, we use honey to attract things. And so I wanted to make it smell so that people would feel like they were also the treat and attracting all the good things that the Year of the Fire Horse has to offer. There's also a bit of beeswax in there as well, mixed with the honey. I've also used orange blossom in this too, because obviously the bees and the aspect of the honey and all those sweet notes, they just marry really beautifully with the amber. These are just notes that I guess I see as quite
good, isn't it?
fiery and smoky. And technically this is a gourmand perfume, just a gourmand amber perfume, yeah. Yeah, which is something also I hadn't really made before, but I've been listening to a lot of our customers and they just really love those sweetie treaty perfumes. So I was
Yeah.
like, that's the theme I'll go with for the Year of the Fire Horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
definitely captured the fire sparks. Like,
Yes.
when you said,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I was
You
like,
smell
don't
it.
spray it too close
Yeah.
because it will irritate your nose at first smell. You don't want to, you just have to watch it.
it's fun.
Yeah.
I
so-
love this so much. I really do.
I'm going to take a look at my notes because I haven't made it in a while. Oh, yes, that's right. So some of the things in here, I did tell you that they were samples from a supplier that I had in India that was really beautiful. And they are naturals. And the batches I noticed over the years, so I've been using them for about 15 years now with previous businesses and so on. And I just noticed batches are not consistent.
Yeah.
And so, I ran out of one of them and I don't think it'll smell the same again. So
Yeah.
that's kind of why Ignis Solis's limited edition, but also that makes it fun too because people get to have a scent for the year that really feels like it encapsulates that energy and they can reach for it when they want it.
Yeah.
And I can make another one next year for the next year.
Yeah, for next year.
Absolutely.
It can be a
yeah.
one-off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
possibly.
Yeah. There is kind of like animalic notes in there as well. There's also, I actually got access to some ambergris, so I probably should have charged a lot more money for this perfume, but I didn't want to. I just wanted people to have it and enjoy it. What else did I put in? Beautiful French lavender from my garden. There's a tonka bean in there that actually smells like coffee as well, coffee and vanilla, which I just loved, and it was unreal. So none of those really powdery vanilla-y notes that were generally quite characteristic of tonka bean. There's a little bit of oak moss, the IFRA qualified oak moss for anyone listening out there. Yes, and
No witch hunts.
no, don't, no witch hunts. Don't come for me. You know who you are. Okay, I ain't gonna take it. Also, I used a beautiful Osmanthus Absolute that I just love, and it always smells so honey-eyed and clean, bright floral. And I just really wanted that to go in there because it feels and looks like honey when you pour it, and it looks, it's quite ambery and it's just so beautiful in color. Then I also added geranium notes that give it a little bit of a rosy note in there as well. Magnolia. What else did I do? Oh, yeah, there's probably a little bit of dark patchouli in there too from Indonesia, which I love the darker patchouli. It makes it smell a little bit more slightly dirty, slightly earthy, which I quite love. Yeah.
It's definitely one of those fragrances that evolves a lot
Yeah.
up and down
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, it
Even just
does.
on the card, which is,
Yeah.
a lot of times they don't as much. But
Yeah.
Yeah, this
I'm
is
really
like
glad you like it.
a platinum level fragrance. This is so fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, cool.
I'm a mega fan.
Thank you.
And we sort of glazed over it a little bit. You mentioned that ambergris is in this fragrance, that you should have charged more for it. So for those people who might not be aware of what ambergris is and why it's so expensive, so that's the sort of a natural byproduct from a whale.
It is.
And it's not something that you can go farm or you can yank out of a whale. You've actually got to find it either floating on the ocean surface or washed up on a beach. And if you're one of the lucky people who actually discovers a lump of natural ambergris, you're probably
Cha-ching.
you're probably set for life, aren't you?
Yeah.
You've made a hell of a lot of money because it is a very rare, very, very expensive material. So
Yeah. Yep. I got a little bit. I was lucky enough to get a little bit. And I was always holding back from using it. And I just decided to put it in this.
this is the fragrance.
Yeah,
Fantastic. No
yeah.
wonder it is so wonderful. And there's a lot
Yeah.
of actually quite expensive
Beautiful.
ingredients in
Yeah.
there as well. So
Yeah.
I love it. I think that you have managed to achieve, as Robin said, you got that sparky, fiery type of thing happening without actually making it a smoky
Yes.
fragrance, which is quite unique.
Very clever.
Yeah, cool.
So
Yeah.
very clever way of doing it. So beautiful fragrance. I mean, I'd love to recommend it to everybody, but
I'm so
you can't get it
sorry.
now. So it's a little bit of a tease.
Yes,
but
I know.
I think for those people who are following CWS or not, and you will start following, good lesson that there will be these type of fragrances that pop up that are seasonal.
Yes.
And if you want them,
I do them all the time.
Yeah.
don't wait. Just they might not cycle through again. Grab them while they're available. They're always small batch. It's always quite limited. You don't make in large commercial quantities. So
No.
if people want your fragrances, they better grab them when they want them. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mm.
Yep.
And
I'm
that's
always
the thing
making
about-
new things though.
Yeah.
absolutely.
But that's how artisan perfumery is.
Yep,
so-
that's the nature of it. In fact, we've got it listed on our website that things will run out of stock, and unfortunately, that's just the way it is. It might be a substantial amount of time before we can make it again because it depends on what you can source and whether you can source it consistently.
Yeah.
But other things will come in to sort of either replace it or subsidize it in the meantime.
Absolutely. And there's always now, because I'm not strictly a natural perfume, but I use very safe aroma molecules and natural isolates. there's so many things being launched all the time, new ingredients, and it's such a tease. I have to learn to rein it in and stop myself. I'm like, oh, what's that? Oh, that's good. Well, maybe I could put that and that or that and that. And then I start playing. I'm like, Rhiannon, stop. You've got all this work to do. Like 10 million things on the to-do list. But yeah, over the next month and a half, I've managed to do all of the new box art and get the orders in. And so I've cut out and allocated time for making scent and also for tweaking things and making sure that everything smells schmick and ready for the Geelong Fragrance Fair in September.
Yes, coming up
Very
very soon. So that's
Yeah.
from
Very
the
exciting.
11th to the 13th of September. So you've
Yeah.
got a stall there as well.
We do, yeah.
So this is one of the only dedicated Australian fragrance events. So obviously
is, yeah.
there's lots of markets, and you appear at a lot of markets
Yeah, we
at
do,
the
yep.
Makers Market and a whole range of different markets. But this is only for Australian fragrances. So that's all you're going to get when you go there. And there are quite a lot of brands, and so you're featuring there.
How amazing is that? I
Yeah.
can't wait to smell everybody's things. Poor Jerry, that's my husband. I'm gonna like, Jerry, I've just got to go and have a little look around, and he'll be like, oh
You
my
just
god,
man
here
the
she goes.
stands.
Yeah. So I'll be off flitting around, smelling everybody's things and saying hello. But I mean, there's nothing quite like when perfumers meet each other, because we are just like funny little hermit nerds who love smelling and making potions. So when we get together and talk, it's just we could talk about it for hours and hours and hours and just, talk about different things we've discovered or just compare notes. And like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of that, which will be lovely. Yeah.
No doubt. And if
We've heard those stories, haven't we?
yeah, absolutely.
you
I mean, we
have.
we went to the fragrance fair last year in Geelong, and we know it's evolving quite a lot
Yes.
from last year's format to this year's format. It's grown quite substantially. But even with last year's, it was absolutely brilliant. I met a whole bunch of fantastic Australian brands. Everybody's very generous with their time, very generous with their knowledge. No one will make you feel intimidated about smelling the fragrance. They're not going to jam a blotter under your nose and say, tell me what you can smell, and then "No, you got it wrong." That's not what it's about at all. Everybody wants to help you to understand their perfume a little bit better and to walk away with a really great experience. So I'm sure if you haven't got tickets yet, jump onto the Olfactive Society.
Correct.
Yeah, Olfactive Society socials, and it'll show you how to get tickets there. Fantastic. All right, let's explore some of the other fragrances in our range.
Okay.
What should we go to next?
So we have got Aureus, or I did bring the new Devour. So
Oh, you've already got
because
your hands on the Devour there.
because we just did a gourmand, we might do another gourmand
Okay.
and
Great.
just kind of compare, I guess.
Yeah,
It'd be nice to
fantastic.
smell
Sure.
them side by side. So a lot of our customers will know Devour. It's been out for about a year, but I have tweaked it, thank you, and I did warn everybody that it was going to change ever so slightly. It's not a completely different perfume. It's just enhanced a little bit more. So I've added, I think the major characteristics of Devour is that I wanted to create a very kind of like, I wanted to turn the wearer into a sweet treat. So the tagline is "Devour me," and so I made it for Beltane. So it's for lovers to wear, and I wanted it to smell like Turkish delight and marshmallow and vanilla and like all really sweet things. And so this time I've kind of tweaked it a little bit where it still has those attributes, but at the beginning you can smell like quite crispy toffee now, and I've added things like the patchouli, the darker patchouli in there, and I just think it balances out some of that Turkish delight note and that marshmallow note. I felt like it kind of just, I don't know, just needed a little bit more of that earthiness to kind of balance out that powderiness as well. And yeah.
It's delicious.
Okay, cool. I'm
It
glad you
really
like
is.
it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I say that about
I'm
all your
wearing this one
fragrances, but
today. Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yep.
this is honestly, I love. So Turkish delight is my favorite.
Yeah, my husband too, he loves it. Yeah.
And I'm actually quite picky about how you do the smell of Turkish delight. So I would be quite critical of this if I didn't think it smelled good.
Yeah.
This smells sensational, and I can see what
Amazing.
you've done by making it a little bit more toasty.
Yes.
So it sort of dials back the sweetness of it a little bit. It still smells very, very delicious, but rather than sort of treading into that overly sweet
Yep.
area, which a lot of gourmands do sort of overstep the mark and get a little bit too far into the oversweet
They do.
zone.
There are people that just love that.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
I feel like
Yeah.
it adds a little bit more of another dimension to the scent profile when you're sniffing it.
I just wanted a little bit more depth.
Mm.
That was my aim by tweaking it. I just felt like it just needed a little bit more of an anchor in the perfume, and so yeah, these crispy, sweet toffee notes with the patchouli and some different types of vanilla and balsams in there really worked. Yeah.
This feels like a very adult
Yeah.
gourmand. So, and I
Yes.
think you're right that, there's gourmands that are very, very sweet and that's absolutely perfectly fine, but they probably appeal to a slightly different demographic
Totally.
as well. So that would be sort of our daughter loves super sweet,
Yeah, she
Oh, yeah.
vanilla fragrances,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But she's 16 years
Yep.
old.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to wear what Allegra
No,
wears, but
I'd probably say that I struggle with very sweet.
Mm.
It's not my go-to by any means. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Whereas this,
Mm.
100% you would wear. I would wear this
Yeah.
for sure. Because it just smells so delicious, although my stomach is starting to rumble now because that smells so very good. So
Yeah, cool.
gourmands are obviously having a bit of a moment
They are.
in the perfume industry.
I
Now,
do really love it though, because I mean, while I didn't really make a lot of them, I actually do. I'm finding that I do like wearing them.
Okay.
Not the super, super sweet ones, but like a gourmand floral or,
Mm.
with a bit of amber in there as well. I quite like a sophisticated one. I quite
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. I find that I prefer to wear them in winter
Yeah.
or in the evening, like,
Yes.
after like almost the scent that you might go to sleep in
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. I
Yeah.
like to.
I get it. It's a comforting kind of smell too.
Mm.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So we heard that the reason why gourmands are having a bit of a moment
Mhm.
is the Ozempic effect. So
Yes, we did hear
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yes.
So because of the prevalent use of Ozempic, which pretty much kills your appetite but doesn't stop you wanting or to experience food, that
interesting.
gourmands sort of bridge that gap where I don't have to eat it, but I can still have the wonderful sensation of a beautiful foodie type smell. And
I
it's-
can see why. Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of
yeah,
sense.
it's quite interesting,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Because it is so prevalent
Mm.
at the moment.
Do you guys know the name of that brand? I've seen them in Mecca, and they have the beautiful bright red bottles that kind of look a little bit like ours, and then it has like a white label on the front, and the entire range is gourmand. The name of the brand is just, I'm lost now. I don't remember the name of it, but their entire range, like to smell like, I think all the people who are on Ozempic would absolutely
They just love it.
dig
Something
that.
for everybody.
Oh my God, they are so good. They're some of the best gourmand perfumes I've smelled in a long time. And I'm sorry, I can't remember the name, but if you go into Mecca in Carlton, on the corner there, on
They're
Lygon
there.
Street, they're there, right in the window.
Okay.
You can see them. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
What a great way to scratch that itch without
Yep.
packing in the calories, right?
Yep.
Great. Yeah,
Yep.
you smell your fragrance, you get the nice little sweet hit,
Yep.
and you don't have to, have consumed a donut or a,
Yep.
sweet dessert of
Yeah.
some sort. So I think it makes sense to me. We heard this.
Mm-hmm.
We actually heard it from somebody who's got a really strong background in marketing, so it
Yep.
really does make sense.
That's
But,
cool,
Yeah,
yeah.
we've had a bit of an interesting tidbit of
Thanks
of
for
knowledge.
that. Yeah. Give me a bit of insight.
All right. So we've
Fantastic.
got one more.
Yep, let's
Yes.
have a smell. So
Okay.
what are we smelling next?
Aureus.
Aureus.
Yes, which is inspired by the sun and the moon and light and dark. So it's about those types of notes that emulate what I feel are light notes and darker notes, and then they marry up. Or they kind of just graze each other as they have the changing of the guard.
So the
And
name Aureus, is that a
Aureus means dark gold.
dark gold? Okay.
Yeah.
I really like the smell.
And so, yeah, I remember you saying you like this one.
Yeah.
This is so I have shifted it ever so slightly to have some boozy notes in it, which I was like, yeah, the rum, that's good. That can go in there. And I felt like it really complemented like the leather accord that I have in there as well. I really like rum and leather smelling notes.
Yeah.
So this has a beautiful neroli in the top note, ever so slightly. It has like aquatic amber notes in it. It has frankincense and sandalwood, and there's the oudwood in there, which gives it that really kind of darker kind of element, I guess. When to me it does. It always smells quite heavy and rich and beautiful, and I love oud. Oh my god, like Middle Eastern perfumes, like stronger the oud smell. I'm like bathe in it. Yeah, I know a lot of people that don't love it as much, but I do. I adore it. I should totally go there and smell everything. I'm just going to try and remember what else I've put in it.
Well, I'm obviously a massive wood fan as well. I can
Are
bang on for
you?
hours about wood.
Oh, you
Yeah.
sure can. And now our son is also a
Yeah, he's
fan.
become a fan as well. I've indoctrinated him into the world of wood. So
Have you?
yeah, so
You got some good ones at home.
yeah, we've got quite a few.
Nice. No, I think oh, that's it. It was a black tea absolute that I sourced that I really loved, and that's also in there as well.
This is really unique.
That's what I was about to say. It's not like anything else, right?
Now, you haven't noted anything there that explicitly says smoke, but I'm getting a smoky vibe from it. And I
Yeah.
think it might just be a combination of the resins and the...
There's a lot of resins.
Yeah.
And that's an incense smell, yeah. We burn them. And sometimes frankincense, sometimes the leather. I think the leather accord might be the thing that has a slightly kind of smoky smell on it. Sometimes oud can also mix with other things, can create that smell, I
Yeah,
find.
I think that's what it's doing for me.
With the sandalwood in the frankincense, yeah. I also had like a cologne style mix up that I put in there, and for me, I know cologne is actually a measure of strength in a scent, but for me, I put it there as a measure of the types of ingredients that I thought were quite like natural cologne smells, like Italian cologne smells.
Oh, okay.
And so, lots of beautiful bright citruses, and then lavender and herbaceous kind of smells, things that smell quite fresh.
Yeah.
And so there's that light kind of freshness at the beginning, which is the light, and then it's the changing of the guards where it then seeps deep into all the dark notes, which I just cherish so much and love. And yeah.
Okay, so it's got that sort of the barbershoppy type smell to start with, and then that starts to dissipate. So that's your opening, and then we get darker and darker and deeper as we get into those deeper resinous notes, which are already starting to punch through, even on this blotter. That's why I was getting that sort of smokiness that comes through. Again, this is very unique.
Yes.
Stunning.
It's a very unisex style scent. I do try to make things that I feel like everyone can wear. So yeah. I mean, anyone can wear anything.
Oh,
but
I agree.
Of course.
yeah, but this is what the perfume world would call unisex. So
Yeah, I suppose, but we have to use describing words of some sort so that we can point people in the right direction. And while all fragrances can be worn by men or women, it's absolutely fine to say this one leans a little bit more feminine in terms of profile versus leans a little bit more masculine. Helps you point yourself in the right direction. But I wear what would be considered traditional feminine type fragrances all the time because it just works on my skin.
Yeah.
Rose works really well for me, and so I wear a lot of rose fragrances that are
amazing.
marketed at women but work really well on my
You just love
skin.
it.
I just love it.
Yeah,
So,
great. Well, a lot of florals were worn by men first. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Didn't the French court all used to wear florals? They were all
Probably.
flower wearers.
I sort of figure if I'm going to try and win your heart with a bunch of roses, why wouldn't I also want to smell like that as well?
Know,
So
they smell amazing.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Take me and the roses.
Yeah,
So,
I don't think scent has a gender anyway.
No, I don't think it
it's
does.
just you wear what you want.
yeah, it's just a profile. But I mean, this is difficult to actually describe. So we've just reeled off quite a lot of notes, and so I guess you've sort of said, hey, we
definitely.
start sort of with those barbershoppy type cologne
But in
notes.
saying that, it's sort of mixed with a
like a
juicy,
traditional cologne.
sweet
Yeah.
something.
This
So,
is
yeah.
difficult to describe.
very
though.
hard to
It really is.
sorry.
That's all right. But
Ye-
just for the audience to know that it's not like that complete fougere kind of
No,
open up. It's more, it's different to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's because it's probably heavier in those darker notes. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we're going to be able to do this one justice by talking about it. So I'm
Yeah.
going to say that you need to get a sample
Yep.
of this. You
Yeah.
just have to. And I can imagine here that because this fragrance is actually quite complex,
Yep.
what I'm going to get on my skin versus what I'm getting on the blotter could be quite different.
Yep.
Again.
Yep.
And so
Oh,
I'd need
yes.
to wear it on my skin and go through the dry down to
Yeah.
really fully appreciate this
Yep.
one and understand it a little bit more.
Totally. I
Mm.
also like the Viriditas Magica. I wanted to make something that I felt people could wear every day. And I feel like this is an everyday perfume.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very beautiful. I can see that there's that sort of the Middle Eastern Omani type fragrance influence that's in this one. I can see your appreciation of those type of fragrances there.
Yeah.
It's sort of got that profile, but again, I'm not going to try and explain it to the viewer or to the listener because you really just you need to smell this one. In fact, you need to smell them all.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming we can get samples of
Yeah.
the vast majority of the ones that
Everything.
aren't sold out,
Except for
Yeah.
the Ignis Solus.
except for the Ignis Solus. So,
Yeah.
and we will always try our best on this show to describe the notes and describe the composition, but there is no replacement for smelling it on the skin.
No.
Fantastic. So speaking of Viriditas Magica, I think we're ready to revisit our fragrance and get to our base notes. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Fantastic. All right. So before we have another smell, let's return for a moment to our perfume pyramid. So again, on our screen for the last time, we've got our perfume pyramid. And now we're at the very base of the pyramid. So we've gone through our opening notes or our top notes, worked our way through the heart, and now we're getting to the base. Now, the base notes are almost the opposite of those opening notes. So where we describe the opening notes as being quite light, quite volatile, they dissipate the soonest. Our base notes are the opposite. So those are the dark, woody, resinous, heavy notes that stick to our skin and actually provide longevity to the fragrance. Now, that's not to say that the heart notes are going to disappear altogether. They're just going to take a bit of a back seat to those base notes. But when we talk about a fragrance lasting for many hours on our skin, it's actually those base notes that help stick to our skin and help that fragrance with its longevity. This show is proudly sponsored by Watchvault, Australia's premier destination for luxury and vintage timepieces. Every watch is trusted, verified, and ready for its next chapter. Visit watchvault.com.au to discover your next timeless investment. So, with that explanation in place, let's have a smell and you can talk us through our base notes.
Okay. So, what I think you can smell in the dry down and the base is definitely, it's always going to be the white musk with this.
Yeah.
But then it also has sandalwood and cedarwood that is also in there as well.
Yep, so those woody notes in the base.
Yeah, but the sandalwood also has that kind of creamy quality to it as well, which is quite lovely.
Yeah.
And I feel like it still holds the scent of the tuberose as well. So it's still kind of in there, ever so slightly. Can you smell it?
I can definitely smell it, yeah.
Absolutely.
That nice creaminess.
Yeah.
And
And I can definitely still smell the tuberose.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Great. Because that's what I wanted. And then obviously, I did mention about not only was there a white musk accord, but I've also used other different types of musks in there to help emulate that as well. So it will last a little bit longer on the skin because musks always do.
Yeah.
And it's just, I love it. Also, I feel like you can smell a little bit of spice in the dry down. So I feel like you can still smell a little bit of can you smell cardamom? Yeah. I feel like it's a hard one to use sometimes. But yeah, it definitely, I can smell it ever so slightly there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The sandalwood, definitely getting that creaminess. Now, you mentioned the musk. Musk can be really great for longevity in a
Mhm.
fragrance, but sandalwood can be great for
Oh,
longevity as
yeah.
well, can't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
All depends what ones you're using, but
Yeah.
totally, yes.
so with the sandalwood that you've used in this fragrance, is that an Indian sandalwood or an Australian sandalwood? What's the...
I've used different types. Yeah, I have a lot of different sandalwoods. I do have an Australian sandalwood that I use. I have one from India that I use. Also, I used it's a popular aroma molecule that a lot of people use, Sandala 85, which people smell that in the Labo perfumes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it has a really beautiful, strong sandalwood quality to it that a lot of people use because it has a lot of good longevity as well.
Okay.
And it just sits really well with all the other notes. Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I imagine with sandalwood and with the musk that has been used consistently all the way through the fragrance, you're probably going to get a fair whack of longevity out of this
Yeah.
fragrance. So how long do you think this one, well, I guess you've worn it before, and I know that there's variation depending on a whole range of factors like
Yep.
people's individual skin
Yep.
and the temperature and all that sort of stuff. But if you're putting it on, you're making a bit of a commitment to wearing it. So how long roughly do you think that the fragrance would last?
Do you know I haven't timed it, but I think it might be like a 6 to 8 hours
Yeah.
because I don't make. I make eau de parfum strength perfumes. With that said, though, I do use a lot of naturals, and sometimes those things, or a lot of naturals, can last a little bit longer, like the base note naturals that I use,
Okay.
which is quite good. But yeah, I would say about 6 to 8 hours on this one because I focused more on keeping that floral aspect and then the musk aspect. I mean, yeah, maybe 6 to 8, I reckon. Purely
That's pretty
because,
good.
yeah, I think so. Like, because I don't make really strong perfumes except
Yeah.
for
Yes.
yeah, yeah. With that said, like we discussed earlier, like people's pH plays a really big part, or whether they're dehydrated, then they'll absorb the scent quicker, and it won't last as long. But yeah, there are also just aroma molecules that just won't go anywhere for like 48 hours, 72 hours.
Yeah, they just stick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even when it stops projecting, you still have the skin scent there for quite a long
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah.
So
And
Yep.
especially with musk, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
for sure.
spray it on clothes too, like if you have like especially in winter, spray it on your like woolen scarves and things, and the smell may last a lot longer if you find it being absorbed quicker on your skin. So yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Moisturizers can help with longevity as well.
definitely. Little slicks of like Vaseline and unscented moisturizer are great.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that musk is, one of those notes which can be very different on different individuals.
Yeah, I think it can. Yeah.
So,
because there's so many different types. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I think just that variation in skin. So when you're talking about pH and microbiome and skin temperature, it does often create quite a different wearing experience, which is why it is important to wear the perfume and go all the way through the dry down. Because something that Robin and I experience all the time is fragrances smell quite different on both of us. They really do.
Yeah.
Quite often they'll smell slightly sweeter on me than they do on Robin, although that's not always the case, and sometimes that flips. But yeah, just because it smells really nice on somebody doesn't necessarily mean that it'll smell really nice on you or that it'll work for you. So we always recommend that you wear it.
Totally. I always, because we do a lot of events, we're always spraying it on people. We're like, come back around in half an hour and let us know how you think and how that settles on you. So always encourage people to try it on first before they buy it.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Quite often I've spoken to friends who maybe don't geek out on perfume quite like we do. And they said, I love the fragrance in the store. And then I got it home and it's no good. I think it might have turned. I'm like, no, the fragrance hasn't turned. How long did you spend with the fragrance? I sprayed it on. I liked it. I bought it. I'm like, well, you only smelt the opening notes, which is why we go to such pains to explain the opening, the heart, and the base in the show, because those experiences can be very, very different, especially if we're talking about typical opening notes where we've got citruses, which just can burn off very, very quickly, and then they're gone. You're sitting at home going, but where's my bergamot? It's gone. Like, it was there 45 minutes ago. It's not there anymore.
It's not going to stick around, though.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
just curious, because there are, you mentioned, scentless Vaseline, scentless moisturizers that
Yeah.
can help increase the longevity of the fragrance. For those people who haven't really played with this before, do you recommend putting the fragrance on and then applying the moisturizer, or the other way around?
Oh, I just do a little slick of Vaseline on your pulse points.
Oh, okay.
Just behind your ears, ever so slightly, like it's grazed, and then spray.
Okay, so spray
Yeah.
on top.
Yeah,
Yep,
absolutely, and it just holds the scent there. I've
fantastic.
seen some people on social media that actually get their favorite perfume and spray it into Vaseline and
Ah.
mix it up into a tiny little tub and then apply it
Okay.
because it makes it last longer. Yeah, each
Yes.
their own.
Makes
But
sense,
yeah,
actually.
yeah, it
Mm.
works. Yeah.
Well, if there is a fragrance that you really love that doesn't last as long as you want it to,
Mhm.
and I've got a couple. I mean, there's a couple of Jo Malone fragrances that I've got that I really love the smell of, but they
Yep.
last an hour or two.
Yeah.
If I want to get a bit more longevity out of them, that sounds like a great idea. Just mix it into a bit of
Bit of
Vaseline, apply it, and maybe I'll
Totally.
get double the time out of it.
I feel
Who
like
knows?
her perfumes last the best on clothing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because
Mm.
my husband wears some of the Malone perfumes, and I can always smell them on his jackets and scarves and stuff
Yeah.
days and
Yeah.
days later.
Yes, that's the way
So
to get
spray them
around
onto your
it.
clothes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Mm.
the way.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Mm.
All right, well, that was a wonderful masterclass, and you always do a great masterclass,
thank you.
Rhi. I mean,
Yeah.
you are extraordinarily knowledgeable when it comes
Thanks.
to perfumery, and I love
Sorry,
the
I
fact
went on a couple of tangents there, but like I
We-
reined it
We
back
like
in.
the
Okay,
tangents.
cool.
we love tangents on this show because it's meaty.
Yeah.
It actually gives us a little bit more context. I mean, if we just wanted to jump onto Fragrantica and go through the notes, that would be a very quick show and it'd be rather dry.
Yeah.
Whereas we want to understand a little bit more about not only the specific notes that you've used, but why you've used them, how they interact with the other notes, what expression of that note is.
Yeah.
One of the unique things in perfumery, and I think you've spent a fair bit of time teaching us this as well, is that a note is not just a note. That's when we've got a natural note, there might be if it's from the same supplier and they're getting it from the same source, it might be the same. But this is a bit of chemistry here. We can actually
Consistency.
we can change particular notes. We can highlight certain aspects of the note, or we can push certain aspects of the note away. And so a note is not necessarily a note. And there is just so much variety within notes and how they're blended. That's why you'll never have every possible perfume will not ever be created.
Everything has its own temperament. And I think that's why we see perfumers that really specialize in certain scent families. And they will just kind of stick with that because that's where they're really good at using their skills. And so they just work with it and they just they fully understand its temperament after 20, 30 years. And they just, they make the best amber perfumes or, the best gourmands. Yeah.
We're never going to reach the end, though, are we? There's not a point in which every possible perfume's been done because of that sheer variety that you can get within even just one given note.
Yeah.
So I think it's really quite unique. And we love the way you compose your fragrances.
Thanks.
Robin and I often talk about your brand and think that it is massively underrated.
Thank you.
They are absolutely gorgeous. I think if you have not got to know Cosmic Witch Society fragrances, do yourself a favor and have a smell. They are complex, they are unique, and they are really just very, very beautiful fragrances. And everybody we
Thanks.
know who has smelt them has said the same thing to us, which is that they are just mind-blowing fragrances. So you do an amazing job.
Thank
And we
you.
want to have you back over and over again because we love talking to you.
Same.
But before we let you go, what we would love to know is we know that you've done a lot in the last 12 months, and knowing you've probably got more planned. What is in the pipeline? So what are you sort of thinking is coming up for you moving forward? You don't need to give us too much detail, but maybe a little bit of...
Well, I'm thinking about stepping back into workshops.
Okay.
So I haven't done that for a long time. So it's probably been almost 2 years. And I don't know if you saw, but we're doing a Practical Magic 2 movie night
did see
at
that.
Sun Theatre in
Yes.
Yarrawonga.
Yes.
It's about 100 women
That's gonna be
coming
so
to
cool.
this event. It's going to be really beautiful. So I feel like we're creating real community now with everyone. I'm actually hosting that event with another gorgeous Melbourne business, Emmett Sage, and she does a lot of beautiful witchy wear products. And so we're bringing that night together. And I think that, now that I feel like I've developed a lot of the core identity of what CWS is, I could maybe just slow down a little bit
Yep.
and pull back the reins a little bit and focus on really moving back into workshops or creating more community events, because I really feel like that's something that people are craving, is just being together. And maybe turning off the noise of social media a bit, because I feel like sometimes that can be a bit of an overload, or it can be a bit toxic sometimes. And I think that, that would be really nice to step back into that space. So I am thinking about doing that. And I've been thinking about lots of ideas on workshops and what I think people might really enjoy.
Mm.
Um, so definitely like the scent making aspect, the potion making aspect will be there. And then maybe teaching people different witchy things and rolling that all in. And I don't know, maybe doing retreats. And that is something that I've wanted to do for a really long time.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So, but
Good.
also bringing other people in as well. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I love the idea that you're bringing the workshops back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Robin and I were only talking about this in the car on the way to the studio
Yeah.
today, is that, when we reflect back on our own perfume journey, the reason why this show exists in the first place is because we couldn't get the education that we were looking for. So we could go to YouTube, but we didn't find a lot of deep education on perfumery there.
Mhm.
We did a number of different courses, and while they were great, once we did the first course, there wasn't the next level of the course there. So there was the the fragrance families, and we got an understanding of opening notes and heart notes and base notes and the
Mhm.
basic structure of perfume, but nothing that took us to that next level that we were really looking for. And I mean, you are an amazing educator, which is something we've
Thanks.
experienced it twice now on our show. If you could bring that to your workshops, I think
Mm.
people would really benefit from that sort of next level of understanding of perfumery.
I think, it has to be, I think in a retreat setting, it would be amazing because we could come and go
Yeah.
from the space and the table where people are creating. And that would give people, I guess, an idea of what it's like to be a perfumer and how we actually work at making something. Sometimes you can make something in one sitting and it's going to be great, and maybe only make the smallest adjustments. But I think when you're learning, you have to really learn to be playful and have fun with it. And I think it's really hard to squeeze that into 2 hours as well. Like I feel like the way that I'd want to teach would be in rounds or in courses. So you come and do the first round, second round, third round, and we slowly dive into things a little bit more in depth and give people room to breathe and move and ask questions as well, because that's the thing that really, I think, that's where the value is, being able to maybe bring something back to the class that you've made and get feedback. Like, God, I wanted
Yeah.
so much feedback when I first started, and just, yeah, it wasn't really available, and people were very coveted, and they weren't that approachable. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you start
Yeah.
with your foundations, and then you can come back for like an intermediate
Yeah.
type of
Mm.
engagement where you
Mm.
start to grow and you get some feedback, and you go back
Totally.
and you tweak and you play, and
Mm.
you start to learn a little bit more about what you're doing. And I think that
Totally.
would be
Yeah.
wonderful.
I think
So
it's
there's a scent one that
fantastic.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking on, and then there's and more of a herbal garden style one that I'm working on as well. Yeah.
Mm.
So it's about, you make things in each course though, in each workshop, but it does come in rounds. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, no
Yeah.
doubt that
Concepts.
while
Cool.
you say you wouldn't mind pulling back a little bit, it's pulling back to push into another space, really,
Yeah.
Well,
isn't it?
just
Because
because
give
I just,
yourself some
yeah, I
time.
just feel like I am a product developer. I mean, that's what I've been doing for a really long time. And probably I don't speak about it here, but I have worked with brands and I do make things for brands, and I have done a lot of collaborations with bigger brands in the past. So just one that I did last year was with, the Powerhouse in Sydney.
yes,
Yeah, so I made lots of perfumes for them to take to events, and I don't know. I still might be working with them in some capacity, but
Brilliant.
I don't really take on too much of that kind of work anymore because I'm more focused on doing what I do
Yeah.
here and having fun with that. And yeah, um, I don't I don't enjoy it as much anymore as I do working for myself. So, but yeah, I yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you pour your heart and soul into something, when you're doing it for yourself, it just hits a little bit different than doing it for somebody else.
Mhm.
I completely understand it. We both have full-time day jobs as part of our lives. That's how
Yeah.
we I guess
Yep, managed to do this.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we do this on the side. Obviously, we run the perfumery on the side as well. But
Yeah.
we are very passionate about Olfactive Melbourne, and every effort that we pour into it hits a little bit different than the job that you do
Yeah.
sort of during the day for your employer.
Yeah.
As much as we work very hard for our employer, if our employer is listening.
They work so hard.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely. But yeah, absolutely. I think that is a great idea. The perfumery education, especially from yourself, I think would be fantastic. So a lot going on now. If people wanted to actually, obviously we range you in our perfumery, but we only do your perfumes. We don't do everything else that you do within the
Yeah.
range. So if somebody wanted your perfumes, they wanted a sample pack, they wanted a candle or a lip
Mhm.
balm or whatever, where do they go to?
Our website. So it's www.cosmicwitchsociety.com, or you can find us via our socials. So I've just started a TikTok where I'm probably going to be more face on talking about things and events and stuff. So I'm trying to be more in that space. Or our Instagram, which is at Cosmic Witch Society. And so all the links are there to products separately and very, very easy to navigate. So
Fantastic.
yeah.
So
And there's lots of samples on there now too. So you'll find the samples listed under each perfume section. So there'll be the full size bottle and then the atomizer 3 ml tester. So and if they're not there, they may be in production or macerating. So send me an email or a text if you don't see it there, because it might be that I just haven't uploaded it yet.
fantastic. So for those people who may be listening rather than watching, so you might be driving your car at the moment, or you're out for a run and you weren't able to actually write down the CWS website, we'll make sure that we've embedded the website straight into the description on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, we've got the CWS website on your screen right now. And of course, as we always do, we'll always do a profile on this particular episode, so on Rhiannon and on CWS, and that will be on the olfactive.com.au website. So on your screen now, you've got a QR code. Simply scan that QR code with your mobile phone. That'll take you straight to the Olfactive website, and you can find the profile and links back to the website. So no reason why we can't find CWS. And of course, we also range Cosmic Witch Society in the Olfactive Melbourne Perfumery. That website is also popping up on your screen right now. So if you wanted to grab a sample of one of the CWS products and mix it in with other episodes that you've seen, you're welcome to do that with the Olfactive Melbourne experience pack as well. So lots and lots of different ways to experience CWS,
Absolutely.
and we highly recommend that you do. So, Rhiannon, thank you so much for joining us today. That was an
Thanks,
absolute pleasure.
guys. It's been lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been absolutely awesome to reconnect.
Thank you.
And I've loved hearing all about all the things you've been up to. Really looking forward to going home and having a lovely pot of tea.
Yes, enjoy a cuppa. Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you to all of our listeners. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Lots of new fragrances to explore. And if you have enjoyed the episode, please feel free to write a comment or leave us a review. Until next time, see you then.
Thank you and goodbye.